Hello, Sagittarius, and welcome to Indigo Rising Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you're having a great day. This will be your weekly reading for the week of November 30th through December 6th. And during that time, we have a waxing gibbous moon, which is a time of us showing how if we can demonstrate our flexibility. You're trying to make you should be making adjustments on things that you're working on, like what's been working for you the last couple of weeks, what's not working. Let's make those adjustments and changes as we're moving forward. Also, we have the full moon that comes in on December 5th. And of course, that can be a time of heightened emotions and maybe feeling a little bit overwhelmed and anxious. Some people can get a little snappy and irritable during the full moon. I, of course, am the polar opposite. I love the full moon. I have so much energy. I don't sleep very well, but that's okay because I'm just loaded with energy. I don't know what it does. It's like all that extra light at night lights me up. So keep those moon energies in mind, however they affect you as we move through the week. This will be an intuitive general reading for the energies that you may or may not encounter, Sagittarius. So, as always, please take what resonates and leave what doesn't for someone else. And your overall message for this reading: confidence is your key to success. All right, let's see what the Sagittarius Collective has going on for this week. As I'm shuffling, my fun weekly reminder is that you notice the world around you this week when it comes to synchronicities. So this could be a song that you overhear, maybe just like a word. Maybe there's just a word that you encounter. I've had that happen sometimes where there's just a word that you don't hear and it's not in your vocabulary much and it comes out and you hear it several times. That happens to me a lot. I have information that gets, I feel like information in the world gets released synchronistically in that way where it's like, well, I wasn't even aware of this. And now I can't hide from it. You know, it's in an article I read and a video I saw and a lecture I was listening to. So, anyway, those sorts of synchronistic things that are happening, just try to pay attention to those. It comes through in so many different ways. This could be an animal that you see. Could be repeating number patterns, that sort of thing. But pay attention for that. That's how the universe is offering you little breadcrumbs and clues on each of our unique paths. And it's like just little signs and yeses and nos. So keep those in mind, Sagittarius, as you're moving through your week also. Okay, let's get into this reading. I will stop babbling, I promise. Confidence is your key to success this week, November 30th through December 6th. And your present energy is the Page of Cups. So definitely open emotionally. This is kind of a new path with emotions, but it's also a sense of humor. You know, I see the Page of Cups as being our most comical of pages. I mean, they're all youthful, but I feel like for some reason this Page of Cups with his fish in his cup is probably, if there's a prankster, that's probably going to be who it is. Maybe that's you this week. Maybe you're fun and light and pulling some pranks. That's fine with me. I like that. Makes me laugh. Your current situation is the Fool card. So speaking about someone else who's maybe I don't see the Fool as a prankster, but the Fool's certainly open to a prank. If you're going to prank someone, the Fool is probably a good one to do. Uh, excuse me. So new journey for you and some reason, new emotional thing coming in, but also a new journey, just a new path. There's going to be some part of your life that is just starting anew and starting fresh, and you're going to encounter, the Fool's journey all through the major arcana, right? So fun to think about, and just go ahead and step out and get it done, get it started. That's all you can do. At the root of your situation is a little bit of a broken heart. So that's sad. I'm sorry about that. But the Three of Swords is about something that comes through. It is air energy, but it's something, it's like information that you receive that makes you a little bit sad. And maybe that's the reason you're starting on this new journey, and you're just like, you know what, I'm not going to wallow in that sadness this week. I'm going to have a sense of humor, and I'm going to set off and do my own thing, right? That's just kind of the energy that I'm feeling, and that's great. That's a great way to do. It's a great way to turn something around and think, you know what, just don't let things affect you, for especially things that are trivial. Just don't let them affect you that much. In your recent past, judgment of you by others, or judgment of others by you, perhaps, could be either or both. and that maybe led to this thing. Yeah, your title last week on your video was clear the air. So maybe you've been going through something, there's some sort of miscommunication or something, and maybe it's just been a heartbreaking thing and you're going to decide to start your new journey and be done with it. Maybe some sort of judgment has come in for that. What is on your mind this week is the King of Swords. So you're being, on your mind is to be very logical, to be very intellectual about this. Like, yep, logic is logic. That's the way I'm going to handle it. I'm not going to be emotional about it, but I'm going to start this new journey, and you've got a logical steps that are going to guide you forward, and that's fine. That's a great way to deal with it. Is to not be overly emotional about it, because is that productive? Sometimes no. Sometimes you do need to get those emotions out, but once you've done it. It's time to move forward. Speaking of forward, what is just ahead of you this week? A little bit of hard work here. You're going to buckle down, get some things done. And this doesn't necessarily, we know hard work doesn't necessarily mean at your job. You're hard at work on this new journey. You're hard at work on some side thing that you do. You're hard at work on some hobby that you're involved with. But, I like to say this is being so into your work that you're just in the moment, which I think is such a gift. If you have something that does that for you, that puts you in that moment, I know for me it's music. I know for and also like I do like anything creative, like anytime I'm like I do a lot of crafting and sewing and that sort of, anytime I'm creating something, I am in my own world. And if someone called my name, like I always say with this card, if someone called my name, it might take them a few times before they actually get my attention, because I'm just so into what I'm doing. And if you have something like that, it's just such a gift. And if you don't, find something like that. Find something that really puts you in the moment, because that's when we're really living, is when we're not in the past, we're not in the future, we're just in the now. In the now, man. Like people would say, live in the now, dude. Anyway, in your advice position, Two of Pentacles. So while you're doing this, while you're being in the now, while you're moving off on this new journey, just make sure all your balls, make sure you're juggling everything correctly, and everything around you is getting the correct amount of time. That's fine. That's adulting very well. I think you can do that. What is beyond your control this week is the Page of Swords. So not only are you intellectually kind of thinking of a way to move forward, but you're also communicating differently. You might be self-talking more positively to yourself. You might be deciding to not do a thing on social media anymore. Maybe you're going to stop scrolling social media on your phone every night. Could be a great idea, but a new path in the way of communicating, or how you communicate things. What is your secret desire, or what you're trying to avoid, is the Nine of Wands. So secret desire means you want to look back and kind of make those adjustments, which I was talking about with the waxing gibbous. That's a really good thing to do. Or you're kind of trying to avoid that, and I've just reminded you to not avoid that. That's a good time to do that. You need to look back sometimes and say, okay, where have I been? What would I do differently, and what would I do the same? That's how we make those adjustments, and that's how we move forward in a more positive way. So, if, for example, this had something to do with maybe a friendship, let's say, because it looks like there might have been some sort of communication thing. You're going to look back and say, okay, look at the situation that just happened to me. How am I going to not do that in the future? Well, I should have spoke up earlier. That's the lesson. So next time this thing happens, I'm going to speak up earlier, and that's just the way it's going to be. That's the lesson I've learned. That's my new path, is to be a person that speaks up earlier, right? So you just kind of look back and learn, and make those adjustments so that you can do better next time. That's what we're all trying to do here. In your outcome position is the Devil. Okay, I wonder why. Here comes the devil at the end of your. Now, you've been doing so well all week. So I feel like this is maybe a roadblock a little bit, but I'll tell you what it is. It's false. Whatever it is, it's the devil putting in those insecurities, maybe the lack of confidence that's coming up for you, fear of failure, those kind of things. Are you trying, or maybe being a little bit closed minded or obsessed with this? I mean, I felt like you were doing great with kind of having a sense of humor, like a judgment came in, sense of humor, we're going to logically move on. But lurking in the background is always that devil on your shoulder that is telling you that whatever this thing is, whatever this thing you're not going to be successful at that. You can't do that thing. All those negative things that come in. But remember, we're self-talking in a more positive way. That even came out before the devil even came out. So you need to kind of quell and quiet that devil a little bit, and you just say, "Not today, Satan." Oh, I probably should cover up these people because YouTube has been a little sensitive about these people. Sorry. Consider them covered. All right, what's hidden from you at the bottom of the deck, Sagittarius, is the sun. So what's hidden from you is your ultimate happiness. This is a card of nurturing and friendships and light and being enlightened. It's the card of being vibrant and having, healing, everything being clear. And this is not your thing this week. It's not time. You're kind of in the thick of it. Again, confidence is your key to success this week. Be confident, get through it, work hard at it, keep everything in the air. Don't let that devil get in your ear. And this sun, I wouldn't be surprised to see it in your reading next week. When this kind of clears up, this cloud of, here's where we started. It was just cloudy, rainy, heartbroken, sad about something. So it's hard to be that happy sunshine in the middle of it. But it is putting you on a new path, and I wouldn't be surprised to see that sun card or something very much like it figure prominently in next week's reading or the week after. So this too shall pass, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. So, Sagittarius, let's get a final message here from the Soul Oracle deck. And it says, accept disappointments gracefully. Wow. Okay. So, that's what we're talking about, is that you have to just kind of accept what this is. Don't let that devil get in your ear when it comes to confidence or just telling you bad things. Just try to be positive, get through it, communicate differently. Again, I feel like that sunshine card it's coming for you. You're in the thick of it this week. It'll get better. All right. What does Sagittarius need to do in the way of self-care for this week? Self-care for Sagittarius as they're going through whatever this thing is. It's putting you off on a new path. I never see that as a bad thing because I feel like you're definitely learning when that happens. So, all right. Self-care for Sagittarius. All right. The card you get is risk. Take a chance. Every risk is a success when you're committed to learning and growth. So, yeah, be committed to learning and growth. Look back, see what you can learn in this situation, grow, expand. I don't see that as being a problem for you. Again, the sun is going to show up for you. These happier cards, probably a little deeper into this journey because you're just starting anew. You're just there. Give it some time. You got to learn some things, right? Sagittarius, thank you so much for being here. I do hope there was something in this reading that you can take away and use in a positive way in your week this week. If you're comfortable sharing, of course, drop me a comment down below. Let me know, did you have some sort of heartbreak, and did it put you off on a new journey? Are you kind of evaluating the past right now to see what you can learn? Anyway, if you like my reading style, also please hit the like and subscribe button. It really helps my channel. But most importantly, it'll help you find me next week, where you are welcome to please come back, see if this energy continues and the story continues, or if there's something completely new here for you next week. So thanks again so much, Sagittarius, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.